President Biden provided an update on an executive order he signed last summer. Biden name checks Apple and Microsoft in right to repair speech. This is just an update on some actions taken earlier in his presidency. So we'll get into the previous action in this kind of a small update here. President Joe Biden has offered some more backing to right to repair rules, following an executive order he signed last summer. Excuse me. He acknowledged that many companies have made it difficult for consumers to fix their own devices. Biden also nodded to Apple and Microsoft for changing their right to repair policies ahead of the Federal Trade Commission taking more action on the matter. Among dozens of other issues the executive order covered, it encouraged, quote, the FTC to issue rules against anti-competitive restrictions on using independent repair shops or doing DIY repairs of your own devices and equipment. The agency said later that month it would tackle unlawful right to repair restrictions by enforcing existing laws and doing more to help consumers and small repair shops fix products. Quote, denying the right to repair raises prices for consumers means independent repair shops can't compete for your business, Biden said. Too many areas if you own a product from a smartphone to a tractor, you don't have the freedom to choose how or where to repair that item you purchased. The president noted that in many cases consumers need to go to a dealer or the manufacturer and to pay their asking price for repairs. He added that he was pleased to hear the FTC unanimously voted to ramp up enforcement against illegal repair restrictions. Yeah, we covered this a while ago. One thing Apple did, which was pretty great, they were pushing an update to their iPhones, and it kind of removed a restriction where previously what would happen was you would replace the screen of your device, which often comes, you have the touch digitizer, the LCD screen, and then the button, the home button, would come all together. Now, lots of phones don't even have the home button anymore. But what would happen is you'd replace that component. It's just cheaper to buy and easier to repair if you buy that component together. You would replace it, and then your fingerprint wouldn't work anymore. Or if it had the camera module in it, Face ID wouldn't work anymore. There's something to that effect, but that's neither here nor there because they were pushing an update that would remove that restriction. So if that component was made by a third party, your features would still work. So that was a step they took in this direction, which I'm of course in favor of. Toward the end of last year, both Apple and Microsoft announced programs that would help consumers repair their own iPhones, iPads, and Surfaces. The Surface is the Microsoft tablet, and kind of their line of tablets and Microsoft's in-house tablets and laptops. What happened was a lot of these companies said, this is a quote from Biden, what happened was a lot of these companies said, you're right, we're going to voluntarily do it. You don't have to order us to do it, Biden said. For example, Apple and Microsoft are changing their policies so folks will be able to repair their phones and laptops themselves. I'm all in favor of that. That's great. I shouldn't have to take it to an Apple store and pay whatever they want. It's the same thing with vehicles. If you don't want to take your vehicle to the dealer to get the oil changed, you don't have to. You can go pay half the price somewhere else and get just as good of a repair or just as good parts. For example, Apple and Microsoft changing their policy so folks will be able to repair their phones and laptops themselves, although I'm not sure I know how to do that. A little joke from Biden there. The president added that moves such as ones made by Apple and Microsoft, as well as possible regulations at state and federal level, will, quote, make it easier for millions of Americans to repair their electronics instead of paying an arm and a leg to repair or just throwing the devices out. Which is even more important today with what we're going to talk about in the next video, which is chip shortages. So being able to repair yours, keep it working, possibly even upgrade certain components is as important as it has ever been. But we're going to reference something that they talk about, what happened last year. We're going to kind of revisit that because that was before this channel got started. So this is from July 21st, so This is from early last year. FTC votes to fight back against right to repair restrictions. So we're just going to get caught up on this briefly. The agency published a paper outlining how it plans to support consumers and small businesses. So you can follow the link in this story and read it, but most of the important stuff, I would say all the important stuff is here. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has voted unanimously to tackle unlawful repair restrictions. In a policy statement published on Wednesday, the agency said it plans to devote additional resources to enforcing existing laws such as Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act that protect small businesses and consumers from companies that would prevent them from, working on their own products they purchased. In doing so, the FTC will take a 5-part approach to the problem that will involve it collecting comments and complaints from the public, as well as working more closely with state law enforcement and policymakers to update existing regulations. These types of restrictions can significantly raise costs for consumers. No kidding. Stifle innovation. Close off business opportunities for independent repair shops. No kidding. Create unnecessary electronic waste. Delay timely repairs and undermine resiliency. Recently confirmed FTC Chair Lina Khan said the FTC has a range of tools it can use to root out unlawful repair restrictions, and today's policy statements would commit us to move forward on the issue with new vigor, which is a good thing. So if there are already laws these people are breaking, then absolutely we should enforce the law. And if new laws need to be created more specifically around these companies that are kind of weaseling their way around the law, then let's do that too. The policy statement follows a July 9th executive order in which President Biden directed the FTC to tackle unfair anti-competitive restrictions on third-party repair or self-repair of items imposed by, quote, powerful manufacturers. All right, that's kind of an update on the situation. Biden spoke on it. So you've got your update. I'm obviously going to keep watching this because I'm really in favor of this, of right to repair. And I think more people should repair their own products, but I think they should be brave enough to look into it themselves. Do your research. Do a lot of research on how to repair something, how to replace a part, and give it a shot. Maybe try it on something older that you're not quite as worried about. But most of it's not as hard as you might think. And I think sometimes, while I'm all for supporting these local shops that are repair shops, I think you could save money and do nearly all of it yourself. So I'd say give it a shot. You never know. If you got something that's broken, do some internet searches, find out if it's something you could fix, and maybe you have to buy a soldering iron or a little pry tool or a little screwdriver or something. But give it a shot. You never know. You might save some money, and then you'll be able to help out somebody else. So thanks for watching. That's what I've got for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with that story in the next video about chip shortages. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe and like the video. Thanks.